Hey lovely people, Paul Phoenix coming at you today with a brand new video. So I've been getting a ton of emails regarding Killer, so I figured it was about time we brought some more details to the table. Basically, I'm just going to go over some characters and environments. There's going to be no gameplay in this. I asked you guys what decade you'd like the game to be set in, and the majority of you said you'd like it to be in every decade. You know, it could be set whenever. I personally, when we were originally coming up with this idea, I wanted the whole game to be set in the 1950s. But then I realised that we were really missing a trick, and there was all this other cool stuff we could do if we just had it set in all the decades. Then I came and asked you guys, and you voted for all decades anyway, so it all worked out nicely. The game is basically set around a fictional TV show called Killer, where the host goes through killers going through all of human history, and there's a special segment on the show which is kind of like unsolved mysteries, and it goes through all the killers that were never caught, all from eyewitness accounts, and you know, maybe they were in prison or something like that, which is obviously how we know the killers existed. And in this segment we have killers that range from the 1950s to the 1990s. We also have victims, and they all have default styles and clothing, but you will be able to edit their clothing. You'll be able to edit their hair, their torso and their legs. We haven't decided on the stats yet. We haven't decided if we're going to set the stats ourselves, or if we're actually going to have an option for you to have a certain amount of points that you use to then edit your stats on your character. So, to the first killer, and we have Cyrus Maynard, aka the Hookman. If any of you out there are clued up on your American folklore and urban legends, you'll know that the Hookman is a popular story. But I've taken that idea, but I've tried to take it a little bit further with the storyline for Cyrus, which I'm not going to tell you right now because I want to save that for the actual game. But you can see there, Cyrus has got dirty, gross, greasy hair. He's got a extremely scarred face, and he's lost the use of his right eye, and he's also lost his hand, which is why he has a hook. The reasons for this will be explained in the game. He has just escaped from a mental asylum, which is why he still has his straitjacket on underneath his long coat. But yeah, this guy is silent and deadly. Now, Cyrus is the 1950s killer, and now we'll have a look at an environment concept for the 1950s map. You can see here there's a couple parked out on Makeout Point, and you can see to the right Cyrus is silently standing there waiting to make the kill. And you can see all the lights from the town. Now, the Makeout Point, this will be one of the parts on the map. In the town, other major points will be a drive-in movie theatre and a diner. Now, going on to the next killer. I also asked you guys what kind of killers you want, and I was so happy when a ton of you turned around and said you have to make a clown killer. And here he is. We don't want to release his name just yet. As you can see, he is missing his lips. Again, yes, there is a story behind that, which you will find in the game. And his weapon of choice is a big-ass circus mallet, which you will get to see him use here in the next concept, which is for, and yes, you guessed it, the circus, or carnival, whatever you want to call it. One of the clown's kills is literally him disintegrating the victim's head, in which their brains and their eyes just fly away. Now, both the clown and the circus will be set in the 1960s. But you've got to remember, guys, you don't have to play with the clown on the circus map. You could play with him on the 50s map, or you could play with him on the 70s map, or the 80s map, or the 90s map. It's completely up to you. Now, the clown is different to the Hookman in which he is pretty much the opposite to Silent. He is very loud and obnoxious, and he has a maniacal laugh, and he likes to honk, and he is very strong. There are a couple of kills in which we're toying with, one of which is the firing the guy from the cannon kill, and another one is going to be to do with the test of strength, you know, the game where you have to hit the panel with a mallet to make the bell ring. Okay, now to the victims. And first we have Blake, and as you can see, he is basically an early 90s rocker grunger. But as I said before, yes, this is his default look, but you can change his clothes to anything you want. Obviously, if you want to play as Blake and you want to play on the 50s map and you want to make him look like he's from the 50s, he has got 50s clothes, he's got 60s clothes, 70s. See, it goes like that. If you want, you can mix and match and make an original outfit for him. And our last piece of concept art is the next victim, Crystal. This is a good example of mixing and matching. As you can see, she has a 1950s haircut with a 1980s top and a 1950s skirt and 1990s shoes. The default designs are basically for people that don't really care about customizing and they just want to pick a character. Whereas the edit a victim option is for the people that obviously that like Blake, but they want to play, you know, they want him to wear different clothes, or they like Crystal or they want her to wear different clothes. The other maps will consist of a New Mexico desert. That's the 1970s map. And yes, there will be mines. One of the kills we actually have does involve a minecart. The 1980s map will be a redwood forest. And the 1990s map will be a kind of suburban map. Now for that one, we do already have a few kills planned, specifically for the graveyard. So that's about it, guys. It's a very ambitious project. It will be a lot of hard work. The game, you know, there is little parts that may change here and there to really tighten the game up, where we find different things work better than other things. We just want this to be the best game possible. We do really have high hopes for the project. Again, there is those sort of nerves because this is my first game that I'm trying to make. Even though I've developed before, this isn't the same, you know, this isn't the same thing. So, but I'm so determined about this and I'm so excited about this project. It's just something, you know, I personally want to play this game. This game that I've got in my head, I want to play it so badly. There's so many great ideas for everything, even just little things, you know, but there's so many great ideas for kills and characters and gameplay elements. It's just something I feel like Killer needs to be made. It really does. And again, we're not tied to a franchise, so there's never going to be a limit on how many killers or how many victims or maps we can make. You can always just keep making different things. And yes, again, we will be taking the community's ideas very seriously. We want to know what maps you guys want. We want to know what gameplay elements. We want to know everything. We really want to feel like this game was made for every individual fan. So yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video today, guys. There will be another video like this soon, once we've got more concept art done. So yeah, so as usual, guys, anyway, take care of yourselves, stay out of trouble, and I will see you in the next video.
Will you kill or be killed? Killer.